Hi, welcome to the Church Musician's Assistant. My name is Hannah Cruz. Before we go on, notice my background today. Totally unrelated to this video, but this is the garlic I grew this year and it looks so cool, in my opinion, that I had to show it off. But anyway, back to the topic. Perhaps you have been told when it comes to playing hymns musically that you should just sing through the hymn and play it on the keyboard exactly like you would sing it. And you know, that's good advice, but a problem lies sometimes in translating what you do with your vocal cords into your fingertips and how you play something on the keyboard. Sometimes there's a disconnect there, like what does it actually mean to play the keyboard like you sing it? Well, I break down how to phrase hymns in a video I put out recently, and I highly recommend that you go watch that first because I get down into the nitty-gritty of how to phrase hymns and how to plan them out. And then I recommend that you come back to this video because now what I'm going to do is apply those principles to a case study. We are going to look at a hymn and I'm going to show you how I break it down and mark it so that I know where to pause and where to connect. And then I'm going to play it for you so you can actually hear all of the ideas that I'm talking about. And I hope that in doing that, you'll come to understand a little bit better how you can systematically go through any hymn that you intend to play and plan out how to lead it musically and in a way that's conducive to congregational singing. So we want to systematize a little bit better what it means to play a hymn on the keyboard lyrically, or the way that you would sing it. Today we are going to prepare our phrasing for the hymn, "Today we are called to be disciples." And this text is set to the tune King's Fold, which should be pretty familiar to everyone here. So first we're going to look at the long phrases and decide what we want to do with the ends of those phrases, whether we want to breathe and break or hold through and use one of our tactics to propel the music forward. So let's look at the first verse and the first phrase. Today we are called to be disciples of the Lord. Okay, so that's the end of a musical phrase, and it just so happens that it's also the end of the text phrase. And the comma signals that, but also the meaning of the sentence, the context tells you that this is the end of the phrase. And so I want to pause a bit here in my keyboard playing to help the congregation breathe. So I use a little slash like this to indicate a pause or break. Then let's continue on to help to set the captives free, make plowshares of the sword. That's the end of the next phrase. And I've already marked actually all of these verses because we break in the same spot every single time. To feed the hungry, quench their thirst, make love and peace our fast. Pause. To serve the poor and homeless first, our ease and comfort last. All right, now let's look at the second verse because we're going to do something different after the first phrase here. I like to draw a line between words that need connection, right? So this phrase, God made the world and at its birth ordained our human race to live as stewards of the earth, responding to God's grace. For the sake of the text and the meaning, we must connect these somehow. So that's what I've indicated for myself there. Now, after you look at the ends of the big phrases, we want to go back and find any other commas and punctuation marks that require some sort of breath or musical break. We can start with the first verse. It's most logical. So today we all are called to be disciples of the Lord, to help to set the captive free. And here we see a comma, but is this for the sake of proper grammar, or is it necessary to actually break here? To help to set the captive free, make plowshare out of sword. You can tell if it's necessary by reading through the sentence, taking no break. Does it make sense? Or is the meaning muddled or changed by the fact that you did not pause at the comma? I feel that this warrants a small pause, so I will mark a pause there. To help to set the captive free, make plowshare of the sword. To feed the hungry, comma, quench their thirst, comma, make love and peace our fast. Do we think that each of those commas deserves breath, or no? In this case, I suppose it's subjective, but I'm thinking that too many breaks, too many pauses in a row disjoints the tune and sort of breaks up the forward movement of the music. So I think in this case, to feed the hungry, quench their thirst, perhaps a break at thirst, a small one, but not a break after hungry. Make love and peace our fast. So we kind of took the best of, we compromised, right? We're not breaking after every single comma, but we'll give people a break after thirst. Let's finish out the first verse. To serve the poor and homeless first, comma, our ease and comfort last. Now, I do think that comma makes a difference in the meaning of the sentence. To serve the poor and homeless first, our ease and comfort last. It's saying poor and homeless come first, and our ease and comfort comes last. So we will pause there. Now, if any of these verses required a connection, then we would use a mark like this to connect the words. Those are basically my two markings, the slash for a break and a long dash for connection. Now I will play this tune, King's Fold, on the organ for you while following the markings we've made together. The breath marks, the connection marks. Now please realize that this is my style of playing. You do not have to replicate that. I am not in any way saying this is the only way to play a hymn, right? I think it is beautiful that each organist has a slightly different style of hymn playing. That's what makes each person unique. So don't think that I'm telling you have to play it exactly like me. But what I want to demonstrate is how a person can sing a hymn and analyze the text for proper breathing, right? And then translate that information into the hands on the keyboard in a way that's very musical and lyrical. So that's what I'm trying to show today in this video. Now notice how much space I'm adding at periods and commas. Sometimes I'm pausing for a whole beat, sometimes more like half a beat. And if your reverberation time in your sanctuary is more or less, then you might want to alter that. But in our sanctuary on our organ, this tempo and this amount of legato in the fingers and this amount of space for breathing is quite appropriate. If you haven't yet, make sure you go watch that other video on phrasing, because that will really fill in the gaps that we didn't necessarily cover in this video. But I hope that both of these videos in combination have helped get across how you can play hymns musically in a way that encourages congregational singing. So if you have enjoyed this, please like the video. I appreciate that. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, The Church Musician's Assistant, so you will continue to get updates when we put out new videos. Until next time, I bless you and your music ministry. Bye for now.